sa first episode natin ng Ask Attorney, where I take time off work para po sagutin ang inyong mga katanungan sent through Facebook and Instagram, either sa account ng Martulfo Vlogs or my personal account in Instagram. Now, before we start, kailangan ko pong sabihin na ang aking advice na i-dispense dito sa show na to and all further episodes are never substitute for the assessment of a private lawyer who is holding your case. Tandaan po natin, ang isang private lawyer which you engage, may opportunity po siyang i-assess yung situation nyo better dahil he has access to all the documents and can investigate on his own in order to give you the merits of your case. Now, without further ado, dun tayo sa first question natin. Para sa ating first question, ito ay pinadala ni Fern Bengdona sa Facebook. At ang involved dito ay isang traffic accident. Dahil medyo mahaba ang kanyang kwento, kailangan ko po i-summarize while keeping all the relevant facts intact. Ang involved po dito sa case na to ay isang motorcycle na naglalaman ng 2 tao at isang motor vehicle na may lamang 1 tao. Itong motor vehicle ay binangga yung motorcycle which resulted into the death of one of the riders and serious injuries dun sa pangalawa. Ang question po ng nag-submit nito is that meron bang karapatan mag-file ng kaso itong sakay ng motorcycle provided na walang helmet at walang lisensya yung nakasakay ng motorcycle. This is an interesting case dahil in its first impression, mukhang kasalanan agad ng taong nasa motorcycle. Unang-una, I do not encourage people to drive without a license at hindi sumusunod sa requirements ng helmet. Ano ba ang epekto nito in a court of law? Okay, first let's start with anong case nga ba ito? Ang pwedeng i-file na case ng mga nakasakay sa motorsiklo ay reckless imprudence resulting into homicide. Dahil nga, because of the negligence, allegedly, of the car, nakampatay siya ng 1 tao at seriously injured another. Ang mabigat dito is yung pagkamatay, that's why we are charging reckless imprudence resulting into homicide. Now, nawala silang lisensya at wala silang helmet, how will the court treat this? In the case of Filipinas Synthetic Fiber Corporation and Wilfredo de los Santos, GR number 152033, published on March 16, 2011, sinabi ng Supreme Court na ang epekto ng iyong violation ng isang traffic regulation ay ang presumption of negligence ay nasa sayo. Let's simplify. Ang ibig sabihin lang ng wala kang lisensya at wala kang helmet ay hindi ikaw na agad ang guilty sa isang situation. Rather, the burden of evidence ay nasa sayo to prove that yung nakabunggo sayo ang may kasalanan. Siya ang negligent sa case at ang kanyang negligence ay ang nagdulot ng inyong injury. So do they have a right to file the case for reckless imprudence? Yes. What do they have to prove? They have to prove that the person driving the motor vehicle was the one grossly negligent at the time. Second, kailangan nilang i-disprove that at the time na nangyaring incident, may ginagawa silang mali or negligent. For example, kung mabilis yung motorcycle nila, then that's a difficult case. However, kapag yung motorcycle is driving in his lane in a controlled speed dun sa panahon na sila'y nabangga, then they might have a case to recover. Ang sabi po kasi ng sakay ng motor vehicle, which is an attorney, is wala na siyang kailangan panagutan. That is not true. What he simply has is that the presumption that the negligence belongs to the motorcycle rider. Ang tawag po natin sa presumption is a disputable presumption because it is not final. So to the family po ng namatayan sa motorcycle accident, yes, you can file a case. What I can recommend is you gather evidence para i-support na walang kasalanan sa bunggo yung nakasakay ng motorcycle. Rather, nangyari lang ang aksidente dahil sa kapabayaan or kakulangan ng galing ng nagmamaneho ng motor vehicle. For our next question, ito baka maraming maapektuhan. It is submitted by a username named MotoMotoGlenn sa Facebook. Ang kanyang tanong ay napakasimple. And i-explain ko yung situation, no? Si MotoMotoGlenn or ang kanyang totoong pangalan, nag-loan siya ng 20,000 pesos sa isang informal na nagpapahiram or 5-6 as we know it colloquially. Ang nangyari dito, dahil humiram siya ng 20,000, ang charge na interest sa kanya per month, take note per month, is 9,000 pesos. So sobrang taas nito. Ang kanyang katanungan, pag siya ba ay siningil, kailangan niya bang bayaran yung 9,000 pesos na to? Dahil ang ginagamit sa kanyang dahilan is that nag-agree naman daw sila. Okay, dito pumapasok yung sinasabi nating concept ng usury. Even though, under the Philippine law, no, yung usury law natin ay kino-consider dead law, the Supreme Court has held in a number of cases na yung stipulation nyo for interest or yung kasunduan nyo para magkaroon ng interest ng inyong kautangan ay magiging void kapag ito ay usurious or unconscionable or sobra na. Ano ba ang sobra? Yun ang important dito. Well, let's always compare it kung ano nga ba ang existing legal interest rate. As of the date of publishing, ang legal interest rate natin sa Philippines ay 6% per annum. So imagine that, 6% increase on your loan every year. Yun yung sinasabi nating parang baseline interest rate. Ano ba nangyari dito sa case ng nagrereklamo ngayon? 9,000 pesos yung pinatong sa 20,000 na loan. It's almost 50% interest rate and it's not per annum. Take note, it's per month. So I'm pretty sure pagka dinala siya sa korte and sinubukan siyang claiman ng 29,000, ang principal lang na utang niya ay 20,000, baka ma-charge lang ng 20,000 itong nagrereklamo. Hindi i-recognize ng court yung 9,000 on top of the obligation. Why? Because it is usurious and it is unconscionable. Kumbaga tumubo sa wala at ang reason dito ay nakakasira to ng ekonomiya. Isipin mo, all you needed to do was give 20,000 at pwede ka na mag-set ng kung ano mang interest rate. The court will not allow that. So ano ang tip ko dito kay Mr. Moto Glenn or kung ano man ang kanyang totoong pangalan? You pay the 20,000. Totoo naman na pagkasunduan nyo and it is a contract of loan and you must stand by that contract. But pag siningil ka ng 9,000, refuse to do so dahil wala siyang legal ground to charge yung ganong kataas na interest. Remember, we are free to enter into any contract because we are consenting adults. However, if yung stipulation ng contract na yun is against law, public policy, then that stipulation can be voided by the courts. And yun nga ang mangyayari dito. So once again, pay the 20,000 and then hayaan mo na siyang maghabol sa korte because I'm pretty sure the court will not allow it. Ang ating next question ay galing kay Alin Manzo Dalano. Itong tanong niya is medyo family matter. She says, tanong ko lang po kung sino ba talaga ang dapat magmana sa bahay ng parents namin. Buhay pa parents namin pero sabi ng parents ko, ibibigay niya sa akin ang bahay kasi ako yung bunso. Pero yung kapatid ko na lalaki hindi papayag kasi dapat daw sa kanya mapunta dahil siya ang bunso na lalaki. Salamat po. Now, para sa mga law students na nanonood, I'm pretty sure you caught on to something here. May usapan na ng succession without somebody dying. So, maling-mali na yun because succession only happens kapag may decedent. Dito, inuunahan nila. There is no successional rights to speak of or there is no successional rights na pwede mo i-put into effect while buhay pa yung pagmamanahan mo. What you have is what they call an inchoate right. Ano bang inchoate right? Ito ay pwede mong makuha only after the happening of one thing, which is yung death nga ng parents mo. You may say that you have a legal claim to it, but you can't enforce it yet. Now, alam ko naman sa ating mga Pilipino, very sensitive tayo sa mga usaping mana. And usually dito nagsisimula lahat ng family quarrels natin. Whether it be lupa, bahay, or kahit kwintas lang yan ng lola nyo, I'm sure may nakita na kayo nag-aaway dito. So, una kong tip, huwag nyong pangungunahan. Hintayin nyo namang mamatay yung taong pagmamanahan nyo. Aside from being bastos or nakakasira ng pangalan to at relationship ng pamilya, wala ka pa kasing legal right to inherit kapag buhay pa yung inyong pagmamanahan. However, gusto kong explain at this juncture kung ano nga ba ang konsepto ng compulsory heir. Based dun sa tanong ni Alin Manzo, i-assume ko na silang dalawa lamang ang magkapatid. So what does that mean? Dito mangyayari is that the heir will leave a spouse and 2 legitimate children. How will they divide the property? Well, under our law, ang legitimate children ay kailangan paghatian nila yung 50% ng estate ng namatay. Math, alam ko. Pero kailangan natin ito gawin to do the proper computation. Let's say that the decedent has 1 million pesos as a value ng kanyang estate or ito ang lahat ng kanyang napundar na naiwan dito nung siya ay namatay. Paano paghahatian? Hahatiin agad natin yung 50%. Yung 500,000 na yun ay paghahatian ng mga legitimate children. Dito, si Alin Manzo at yung kanyang bunsong kapatid. So, 500,000 divided by 2 is 250,000 each. However, sasabihin nyo, meron pa namang spouse. Meron pa namang naiwan na isang parent. Wala rin ba siya makukuha? Meron din. The law says that the surviving spouse is also a compulsory heir to the amount that a legitimate child can also receive. So, what does that mean? Yung 250,000 na matatanggap nila Alin Manzo ng kanyang kapatid ay kailangan matatanggap rin ng kanyang parent, surviving parent. Now, if you have been paying attention, 250,000 plus 250,000 plus 250,000 is 750,000. May butal pa na 250,000. Saan mapupunta to? This is where the will can take effect. Ang ating mga will na gagawin natin before we die and ipapadaan natin sa probate court, pwedeng walang mamanipula itong tinatawag nilang free portion or ang portion na nalalabi pagkatapos makamana ng lahat ng compulsory heirs. So if ever there's a will, yun lang yung pwede mong ipamana. Bawal mo nang galawin yung naiwan para dun sa mga compulsory heirs. Dito sa case na to, bahay ang pinag-uusapan. So let's see, ano ba ang value ng bahay? Let's say yung bahay is worth 500,000. Eh di yung bahay na yun can rightly be sold and then divided yung proceeds among the 2 siblings. Tapos cash na lang yung matitira sa spouse and then paghahatian na lang ulit nila yung remaining. if walang will. Medyo magulo, I know. That's why whenever there's an issue on succession, I really suggest that you get a private lawyer and a CPA. Or, kung swerte kayo, a CPA lawyer. Because you need to account for the estate of the deceased and then you have to divide it properly according to the law. Kung hindi, hahaba ang kaso. And I have seen cases range on for 20 plus years. Pinag-aawayan lang ang mana. So, ano ang pinakamadaling gawin? Execute yung tinatawag nilang ang extrajudicial settlement. Dahil dito, pwede kayo magkasundo kahit hindi according dun sa compulsory heirs kung ano ba talaga ang makukuha ninyo to the full satisfaction ng inyong claims. That means, pagkatapos ko makuha itong amount na to, masaya na ako and I waive everything else. Pwede po yun. And that's the easiest way and it only takes months to do. Rather than gagastos kayo ng kanya-kanyang abogado, paglalaban nyo kung ano ba yung dapat sa inyo, mahirap na. Baka sa dulo, utang pa ang mauuwi ninyo. So, para kay Alin Manzo Dalanon, first off, huwag niyo muna pag-awayin yung mana. Buhay pa naman ang parents niyo. Maybe gather your family in order to draft an extrajudicial settlement na nakaplano na by the time na mamatay yung inyong parents. Okay, next question. Ito very interesting din. Attorney Garreth, ask ko po, halimbawa, tumawid po o napunta yung manok ng kapitbahay namin at pinatay ko. Wala po ba akong kaso dahil trespassing po ito? Sana po masagot niyo ito. Salamat po. From Cesar Salva. Okay, you might think na joke question to, no? But actually, our property law under our civil code provides for this. Nakasulat dito sa kanyang tanong, no, may chicken, which is a domesticated animal, na tumawid ng bakod at napunta sa kanyang lugar. His claim is that trespassing ito, kaya niya pinatay. Well, first of all, hindi po nag-a-apply yung crime of trespassing to animals. Dahil itong animals po, hindi po sila subject ng ating penal code. So, ano ngayon ang property relation na mangyayari dito? Dahil domesticated animal po ito, pasok po ito under Article 716 of our civil code under the Articles of Property. Ang sinasabi po dito sa civil code natin, ang owner ng domesticated animal whose animal crosses the border and na-occupy ng ibang tao has 20 days to claim yung animal na yun. So, dito sa situation na to, ano dapat niyang gawin? Wait for 20 days. After 20 days, the law says sa'yo na yun. At kung gusto mong patayin at gawing tinola para mamaya, pwede na. But please take note, dapat hindi ikaw ang may cause na yung manok na yun ay lumipat. So pag nakita namin na binutasan mo yung fence ng inyong kapitbahay para magsitawiran ng kanyang manok, the 20 days doesn't count. The law is very clear. A domesticated animal wanders into the property of another and becomes his occupation. That means kusang nawala yung hayop at pumunta sa inyong bakuran. Again, wait for 20 days. After 20 days, enjoy na. For the next few questions, no, I'll take short questions or questions that elicit an opinion lang. At hindi naman to sinasabi natin conclusive or wala rin namang legal basis ang aking mga sasabihin. So, sa mga unang mga tanong na to, first is from Instagram, from a username na hindi ko mabasa. Pwede po ba maging attorney or prosecutor yung hindi mahilig magbasa? Okay. Easy question to answer. If hindi ka mahilig magbasa, then don't even consider a career in law. Whether as an attorney or as a prosecutor, don't try it na lang. Kasi 90% of our work involves reading. Gabi, abutin kami ng umaga, nagbabasa kami in order to prepare pleadings, in order to prepare yung mga pangontra namin, the answer, or in order na lang, nahanda kami when we go to court. You read. Yun ang primary job ng abogado. If hindi ka mahilig and you think pipilitin mo lang sarili mo to read every day, delikado ka. Because if you don't love what you do, then you won't do it for long. And you're going to be reading for a very, very long time kung ikaw ay abogado. Lalo na lang pag ikaw ay prosecutor. Grabe ang burden na nakalagay sa balikat ng mga prosecutor. Isipin mo sa pirma nila. Pwedeng isend yung information to court which would be the basis para mag-release ang korte ng isang warrant of arrest. If yung prosecutor mo hindi marunong magbasa or hindi mahilig magbasa, kawawa naman yung accused. Kasi baka i-shotgun niya na lang, pirma na lang ng pirma, finding probable cause, at may mga taong makukulong ng walang kadahilanan. Yon yung danger and responsibility as a lawyer. Kailangan mahilig kang magbasa. Because through reading, malalaman mo yung katotohanan, and if you know the truth, then you can argue fairly. So, short answer, kung pwede ba maging abogado or prosecutor isang taong hindi marunong magbasa? No. Another short question. Ito, I'm guessing law student rin siya or aspiring law student. Si Pasita Halandoon. She asks, as a law student, attorney, how do you survive law? Any tips or quotes to help a law student? Ang favorite quote ko, which I heard ng second year, second sem ko in law school, is from a professor of mine from Accra Law, si George Aquino. He said, eto, napakasimple, he said, put in the hours. Sobrang useful nun and it became a rallying cry para sa akin throughout the whole law school even throughout my practice. I was never the smartest person in the room. Hindi rin ako yung pinakamaboka or magaling mag-debate. In short, I'm not naturally talented to be a lawyer. Wala akong kakayahan maging lawyer if hindi ko nilagay yung sobrang daming oras na nilagay ko in order to be one. Kaya nga nag-resonate sa akin yung sabi ng prof ko na yun. You put in the hours. Because if you put in the hours, lahat kaya mong gawin. Mabagal ako magbasa. But I survived law school with a heavy load dahil nga I put in the hours. Siguro yung ibang kaklase mo needs 8 hours. But you're not them. Maybe you need 10. Then put in 10. Sasabihin mo, ang hirap naman. Mas mahirap na yan pag may kliyente kang hawak. Yun ang iisipin mo lagi. Right now, as a law student, you are fighting for your own sake. As an attorney, you are almost always going to fight for somebody else's sake. So train yourself. You put in the hours necessary to finish a task. Alam ko mahirap. Alam ko nakakapagod. But the more you tire yourself out, the sounder you'll sleep knowing you did everything you can para magawa yung gusto mong gawin. Grabe yung sleepless nights ko when I handle a case and I know may kulang akong ginawa. Either because masyado akong busy or dahil nakaligtaan ko yung trabaho ko. I am not immune to that. But iniiwasan ko siya dahil grabe yung kaba mo. Grabe yung sleepless nights mo thinking ano kaya yung mangyayari sa client mo. So as a law student, train yourself na. Don't make the mistakes I made. Put in the hours. For our next question, medyo politically loaded siya from Angelica May Ramos. If you were to represent one case in the Supreme Court, who would you choose? Reyna May Nasino, Randy Echanes, or Kian Lloyd de los Santos? Well, let's clarify muna. Let's remove the Supreme from the question. No? If I was to represent somebody in court, kung sino ba pipiliin ko? Si Reyna May Nasino, Randy Echanes, or Kian Lloyd de los Santos? Ang pipiliin ko dito is si Randy Echanes. For those of you who don't know, si Randy Echanes ay connected sa isang group named Anak Pawis. They are highly suspected to be an NPA group. However, ang nangyari sa kanya is manifestly unjust. Si Randy Echanes was getting medical treatment at his house. During this medical treatment, he was unarmed and surrounded by no armed personnel. Pinasok yung bahay niya sa Quezon City and he was summarily executed by police. Now, it's time to declare my political affiliations. First off, masasabi ko na we are in the different side of the political spectrum ni Mr. Randy Echanes. Hindi ako naniniwala sa kanyang pinaniniwalaan at hindi ko pinaglalaban ng kanyang pinaglalaban. In fact, you can count us as political opponents. We are fighting for diametrically opposing things. But that does not mean naniniwala ako na pwede ka na mag-commit ng injustice against him. There is no such thing as a warrant to kill. Wala tayong death penalty dito sa Pilipinas. It was suspended. Which brings into question bakit siya kailangang patayin. I know they are highly suspected as a terrorist front for the CPP-NPA. However, that does not give you the right to kill them. Imprison them maybe. If you have the proper grounds, yes. But to kill them, summarily execute them while they're getting medical treatment in their house, only brings the other side of the political argument into shame. Lalo lang kaming napapahiya. That's why I want to fight for his right din. I want those who killed him or responsible for his death to be put to justice. Because yung political system natin, it thrives on debate. The only way we can see kung ano yung tamang solusyon is that we talk it out. Hindi yung papatayin kita to silence you para boses ko lang maririnig. Pagka ganun, then we are open to very bad policies. So bakit si Randy Echanes? Kalaban mo yan. Yun ang trabaho ng abogado. You should not care kung kalaban mo yan o hindi. You should care if the law is implemented, period. And I think si Randy Echanes has capable lawyers on his side naman and I hope they fight the good fight. Dahil I think that in this time, in this age, no, all we need is a dialogue between the opposing parts of the political spectrum and nawala yung chance na yun. I'm pretty sure they have good ideas on their side as much as we have good ideas on our side. But we will never hear it now dahil namatay siya unjustly. Never take it out on the person. Fight ideas with ideas. Okay, for our last question dito sa first episode natin, I want to go somewhere less serious. May nag-message sa akin, yung IG handle niya is Kendrick Lee. Sabi niya, how to be an attorney po. I'm a 15-year-old boy and I want to be an attorney like you when I grow up. Any tips? First off, para kay Kendrick Lee, please set your bar higher. Ang daming mas magaling na abogado sa akin. Pag ako yung goal mo, tapos ka na siguro first year pa lang na pagiging abogado mo. So, aim to be a good lawyer, not to be like me. How to be a lawyer in general? Well, sabi naman nila, yun nga, 4 years college, 4 year law school, pass the bar. But, anong kailangan mong baguhin sa sarili mo? First is self-discipline. Walang abogadong hindi disiplinado sa kanyang sarili. Dahil if you're a lawyer, especially kapag solo practice ka, you have to fight somebody else's fight. So, there's no better motivation than discipline sa mga ganong bagay. Dahil hindi naman lahat ng araw, hindi naman lahat ng kaso passionate ka. But you have to force yourself, you have to discipline yourself para ipaglaban pa rin with all you can yung mga inyong kliyente. And that's the only way to be a good lawyer. Second, aside from discipline, is that you should learn how to genuinely care about somebody you don't know. Ganun lang yun. Always care for everybody around you. Because if you don't, mahihirapan ka to defend them in court. Always assume na yung problema nila is problema mo na rin. Although it is true na laging may distansya naman between the attorney and her or his client, you can't distance yourself so much na you stop caring. Tao din yan. And they're relying on you. The greatest part of being an attorney is having the privilege to be somebody's hero sa time na hindi nila alam ang gagawin nila. Yun yung binibigay sa atin ng title ng attorney. Hindi ito lisensya para magmayabang. Hindi ito lisensya para manulak ng tao na sa baba mo. It is a license to help people na hindi alam ang gagawin. You are possessed with the knowledge to help so many people pag ikaw naging abogado. And I'm happy that you're considering it at the young age of 15. When I was 15, wala pa akong direksyon. Nagpapariwara pa rin ako noon. I didn't know that I would be an attorney. I didn't know that I would be handling so many cases na yung mga pamilya iiyak once you solve them. Yun yung best feeling. And I hope when you grow up to be an attorney, I will meet you in practice and that you'll tell me na nakatulong ako kahit konti. Alright, thanks for watching yung first episode natin ng Ask Attorney. Again, it's a dry run lang. Sa next episodes natin, I'll try to research more para to give you more detailed answers sa inyong mga katanungan. Abangan niyo yung mga susunod na episodes. I'm going to try to make this twice a month thing at least para mas marami akong masagot. So, thank you. And para doon sa mga nagtatanong pala, will I be making my own vlog or own channel sa YouTube? I would not. Lahat ng mga material ko ipapublish ko na lang sa Martulfo Vlogs. So remember to follow that, subscribe, hit the notification, hit like or whatever yung mga sinasabi ng YouTubers. Thank you.